Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone forever, but I am finally back, so I'm so excited. Also, please don't judge. Yeah, we're in a pandemic right now, and like nobody sees past down here, so I really kind of don't care. Foundation is just like up, but whatever. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about a lovely new palette from Indi Beat Cosmetics called Frankincense and Myrrh. I feel like it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but whatever, who cares? It is a super pretty color story. It is a Christmas themed palette. Sorry, some of the glitter transferred. But it is super gorgeous and I really, um, do like it so far. Some fun little details about this palette. It does retail for $25. Right now they're having their Black Friday sale, which is 35% off if you use the code Black Business Friday. So awesomeness there. And then this palette is also cruelty free. So hey, I'm cruelty free with makeup, which is awesome. So yay. Okay, let's go ahead and do some swatches of this palette. So I didn't even think about this. Whatever. We're gonna go ahead all to the top right now. To give you some insight about this palette, I was really nervous when I originally bought it because I kind of was worried if it was going to be good quality or not. I was pleasantly surprised that the quality is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So first shade here you have Hallelujah. The next shade, sorry, is Mary Did You Know? You have Silver Bells, and then what's the green? Is Joy to the World. I'm going to wipe this off over it. Alright, so for our next four swatches, we have All Ye Faithful, Let It Snow, Born is the King, and then Silent Night. So we have Drummer Boy, Emmanuel, Joyful Noise, and then Oh Holy Night. In all honesty, with this palette, when I first purchased it, I was nervous that, and I hadn't received it, but I purchased it on a whim because I was like, and I had also seen on her Instagram, the owner of the company, her name's India. She was like, I have a goal I really want to reach, whatever. You know, and of course my brain's like, you know, or whatever, my heart's like, oh my god, I want to help out. I want to buy this palette. And I've been curious about the company for a while. And so I kind of was just like, you know what, $25, like, though it's a good amount of money, um, I jumped on it. Now, very happy to say, I do not regret this purchase. I do feel like these shadows, like, I was so nervous that they were gonna be, like, not very good, not very pigmented, you know, any of that. And I do feel like, honestly, all of them work very well. One big thing I would say about her palettes, though, which may for some people, including myself, I'm a teeny bit like, meh, is all the pressed glitters. Now, she does have other palettes, or they do have other palettes that don't have pressed glitters. Like I know there's one that it looks kind of pastel, kind of. It's really kind of bright colors and it's all mattes, which I love all matte eyeshadows. I love colors, so I'm very intrigued to get that one. I'm thinking about getting it for Black Friday, but I'm not 100% sure. And then like other stuff that they have is really cool. They um you know, the line itself is like music based, I guess you could call it, which is kind of cool. Or I don't know, what am I saying? The line Indie Beat, it's like music beat, which is really kind of cool, very interesting. They have really cool stuff. And, you know, seeing the quality of what it is, I'm intrigued and I want to buy more. I want to help support, you know, a company like this compared to other companies that are already doing really well and successful. Because, you know, like I said, it's good. It's really good quality. It's a black owned business, which again is amazing. I didn't say that obviously earlier, but saying it now, which is super awesome. And yeah, that's all I can think of. One small thing I did want to note before I sign off for this and we jump in the tutorial, I do wish that there were color descriptions. Now, obviously, again, like, it's a smaller company, whatever, and I'm sure that there are other things that come into it. myself as a consumer, I am a little bit on the colorblind side, unfortunately. Lightly colorblind, but still colorblind. Um, and so even when I'm doing reviews or whatever, or even just trying to figure out what looks I think would go together, it does help if I know what color something is. Because there's nothing worse as a colorblind person than thinking something is, let's say, orange or whatever color, I don't know. And then finding, or like I remember, so when I was younger, I had a shirt that was red and it had gray stripes on it, I think. But my color blindness thought that they were green. And I wore them with green pants. And I got made fun of so much. This is obviously when I was younger. But I think ever since then, I kind of have, I've taught myself a little bit more about color, but also it's just nice to know. This is a long ass tangent. But yeah, I would just think it'd be really helpful, like most makeup does have, to have color descriptions. It could be like, okay, this is what it is versus this is what I think it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, all in all, I think this is a really good palette. I'm very happy to have it. I think if you're looking for something kind of Christmas themed, like I kind of was, I've never bought any Christmas themed makeup as of yet. And I know that like bigger brands like Too Faced do it, but honestly, Too Faced doesn't really excite me. Most of the big brands don't really excite me, and I wanted to support a smaller business. So yeah, I'm very happy with my purchase. But let's go ahead and roll into the shadow tutorial for this awesome look. Okay, we are trying this again because I did not like the first time it turned out. Do not judge that I had eyeliner transfer. It is what it is. It's the, I can't even, oh, here it is. This NYX eyeliner, this Epic Wear eyeliner. I don't hate it. I'm looking for a good eyeliner. So if anybody knows a good liquid eyeliner, please let me know. I'm tempted to go back to gel eyeliner. I was really into felt tip eyeliners, and they always dry out extremely fast, so that annoys the hell out of me. And yeah. Okay, so we're probably gonna do something similar to this side. So, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Silent Night, which is like this deep red color. I'm just gonna use this e.l.f. brush that I really like. It's like a slight angled brush. It's from their, you know, like that really cheap brush that they sell. And I know this is terrible. Like, you can usually find these brushes sometimes at the Dollar Tree. I really like this one, and I want to use it. You can use whatever. I would just say kind of a small, fluffy brush. I don't know. Mainly, I just want something to be able to start pressing this shadow into the crease. And then I am primed with MAC's Primer Painterly Paint Pot. I am looking to find something different once I run out, because I've gone with my makeup purchases now cruelty-free, and unfortunately MAC is not considered cruelty-free because they sell in China. I'm really tempted to try the e.l.f. one, but I have not had a chance. I have not seen it out anywhere at the store. And when I looked at their website, I think they were out. I'm tempted. I'm probably gonna buy it from Ulta, but Ulta has yet to have, or there's nothing yet on Ulta that I need or want to purchase. So I kind of just don't want to purchase like a $6 item and have to pay shipping. I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's go in with the red shade called Mary Did You Know? Sorry if I'm blocking my light. And I'm just gonna take, this is a Morphe brush. It's a Morphe M456 brush. You are gonna notice I do tend to use a lot of Morphe brushes. I did buy some of the James Charles brush sets a while ago. So it tends to be what I use. Hopefully that does not bother you. And if it does, I'm sorry. You can use whatever brushes you have, but I did want to have brushes that are more point of reference. I don't know if whatever you want to call it, easier to get. Because, so for example, this e.l.f. brush, this is the only one that I have. I find it very difficult to find it. A brush I could use is maybe like an angle brush. This is like an angled eye brush that I bought. Well, not eye brush, paint brush that I bought from Michael's forever ago. You know, whatever. If I were to say from the James Charles, the set, you could use like this like eyeshadow brush, this M166. Whatever you feel like using. I think you should use what you just did. But anyways, we're just gonna dip into this red. I do like this red. The red is, in my opinion, not as pigmented right off the bat as the like the burgundy shade, which is, obviously nothing wrong with that, completely fine. But just to note, and you can definitely, you can obviously get it there because it's getting there, but it's not going to be one of those shadows that I would consider full payoff from the get-go. And I'm actually just tapping the shades together. Very, very, very simple technique that, so basically I've not really had to blend as of yet. And it's just something that we're able to lay down our colors that we want. Just to kind of get them, in my opinion, this is the best way to get the most kind of pigmentation anytime that you really kind of go and blend. Like, for example, on this eye, I kind of blended it, and it actually looks kind of pretty, minus the eyeliner transfer. But this red shade, let me show you, the Mary Did You Know shade, and it actually looks like a pretty, hot red. But what do you call it? It blends out. I don't know if you can see that kind of, it's not really showing it up, but on the side, it looks kind of pink. I did use a little bit of a white eyeshadow, which is unfortunately, not even unfortunately, there is no white shade in this palette. I just use one that I have myself. I don't hate that this does not have a white because most people can't use a white. So I just have Sugar Pills Taco eyeshadow. You can also use your face powder. Use whatever you want. There is a shade in here that might work for some skin tones called Let It Snow. I think this is a little tan. Full honesty, I am colorblind a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So certain shades, unfortunately, I'm not gonna know. But this, to me, looks like a shade that somebody could possibly use as a blendy shade, whatever. I could definitely use as a blendy shade. I did try to use it a little bit as like a highlighter. Not highlighter, but near my brow bone, and it's just a little too dark for me. So whatever, use what you have. I'm just gonna go and dip into the white eyeshadow called Taco with a M166 from Morphe. And I'm just going to, just like we're doing everything else, just stamp. I apologize, I know this may look crazy. This shadow is very, I don't know if it's the brush or it's the shadow. I think it's also the shadow, well, mainly shadow. It's very kind of fallout-y. But who cares, this is not a Sugar Pill video. But it's pigmented. Oh yeah, gorge. Okay. I love when I say words like gorge that I don't honestly say on a normal basis. So weird. Like, anybody possibly watching this who maybe makes content, do you find yourself like saying things that you kind of say but don't say? Like, I have expressions, but I don't know if I say gorge on an often basis. Whatever. Coffee time. I brought out my lovely coffee mug for this season. I am excited. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to blend a little bit using this Morphe M433 brush. Just really lightly. And I know it looks like probably like I'm going hard because I'm just pressing really lightly and just doing kind of little circles. I guess, I don't know. Kind of just slide it back and forth. But just mainly trying to focus the tip of the brush. This is gonna sound stupid, but kind of focusing the tip of the brush between the two shades. I feel like it actually looks more red than the other side. I'm okay with that. It's okay. We're always improving. This is the second time I've done this eye. I had it a completely different color, and you know what? Look at this. Finally, third attempt. We're getting good. Not this is bad, but we're getting somewhere pretty. We're getting somewhere nice and red and gorgeous. I say gorgeous. I don't say gorge because I don't know. I'm also just kind of stamping, as you can see. Sometimes as well, notice that helps blend your shadows together. This actually doesn't look bad. Because, like, I kid you not, like, literally, this is probably the one time that I'm like, yes, love it. Okay, let's go ahead and grab a actual blending brush. This is a much fluffier type of brush. This is the M441 by, of course, Morphe. And I'm just gonna kind of buff the edges out a little bit, just to make sure everything looks nice and super smooth, like we want it to. I love how it looks on camera though. Oh, it looks so good. Yes! We're killing the game today with this eyeshadow for a second. Okay. Next we're gonna go ahead and cut the crease, kind of. The way I've been doing it is very similar, if not practically identical, to how Beauty Bean does it. So I'm using the NYX Glitter Glue. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a, it's like a smaller shader kind of brush. It's the M152 from Morphe. Dip into a little bit of my glitter glue. And what I'm doing is I kind of because I really struggle with cut creases, of knowing where to cut it. I'm really hoping that with practicing more, I'm really hoping that with practicing more and more, that I'll become a lot better. But for right now, it kind of is what it is. My eyelid does hood, obviously, a little bit. So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just try to follow where I feel like my eyeball goes. Like, is it your socket? I guess just kind of feeling around the roundness of my eyeball. I feel like it sounds weird, but I feel like if you were like even just take your finger around your eye, you probably know what I mean. Just kind of round it out. And using this brush has actually really helped me recently with doing a more kind of cut creasy shape versus using like a concealer brush. You know, of course, use whatever works for you, but this is what has been working for me. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this pressed glitter silvery shade called Silver Bells. The glitter honestly reminds me a little bit of Tati's palette, the Texture Neutrals palette. The pigmentation, everything really reminds me of that. Now, is it exactly the same? Honestly, I don't know. Probably not. I have no idea. But one thing I also really like about this is the glitter seems, or is very, like, fine. And again, you know, obviously no claiming that this is eye safe because I have no idea. But, it doesn't, I've used other pressed glitters that just feel very kind of like sharp and chunky, and this does not. This feels very smooth on the eye, which I really like. And then one thing that I sometimes just like to do is just take the brush with no excess product on it, but really just kind of give it a nice tap. I used to do this when I was really into using loose glitters, and I would really just tap it to really kind of just make sure that it is there and secure for the day. One small confession that I did have happen the other day. Now, this totally could have been user error, but just to keep in mind, I did have a small amount of creasing. Now, I didn't do what I'm doing now. It was in the morning one day before work, and I kind of just, what do you call it? You know, threw it on, went to work. It was fine for a while. I noticed when I went to use the bathroom, I looked in the mirror and I saw it was like creasing a little bit. Now I did just kind of take my fingertip and press it down, and it worked fine. Why I'm thinking it possibly could have been like my fault, my user error, is I noticed that it seemed to almost be like balling up there. So I don't know if either I put too much base on, or I don't know. I don't know if I layered it too thick. So even like doing what I just did, kind of pressing it out to really get it, I just stopped saying so much. What I just did to press it out to get it like a nice thinner base, I think we are good with it. But I mean, it's normal for your eyes to probably crease, wrinkle, whatever. It's still, when my eyes are open, of course you couldn't see it when they're closed. But honestly, I mean, makeup sometimes wears throughout the day. Not always the best. I don't know. I feel like I'm making this sound bad. The makeup still looked really great by the end of the day. It looked really pretty. It was just, yeah, just having to kind of re-tap it out, which is honestly no problem. Super, super easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and use a Morphe M508 brush. It's just kind of a smudge brush, I think some people call it. And I'm going to dip back into Silent Night. And just use this kind of lightly to trace around our cut crease. I just want it to be nice and kind of sharp. Let's go ahead. I'm just gonna see if those will work. It's a M506 brush just to kind of press at the edges, just to kind of get it to soften a bit, to blend. There is no extra product on this brush. I lied, I'm gonna dip in a little bit, so now there's a teeny bit extra product on it. Just to see if I can get it to help it to fan out a little bit. So let's go ahead and take, I'm just gonna take some. I love using this because it's so full coverage. This is the Juvia's Place foundation. It's so good. I almost use it like a concealer. And I'm just going to use it to clean up my edge. Now you can clean up the edge with makeup remover. Sometimes I also will do what Robert Welsh has recommended with using like a primer. I tend to use a primer that I maybe don't like so much, but I have just to get some extra use out of it. Because I really like the idea of using up my makeup versus just wasting it. Oh, look at that crisp line. Yes! Feeling like an awesome person. I love a crisp line like that. I feel like it just looks so pretty. So good. And then you can either slap on a wing liner or not. I'm going to. Just because the other eye does. And we will be right back. Okay, so that concludes my review slash tutorial for this makeup. Trying out this new company of makeup stuff. I really liked it. I thought it worked out really great. I'm very excited to, you know, play with it more. I've been playing it for a couple days. And I'm really excited to try out more of the products that they have. So, please, I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did enjoy my video, please feel free to subscribe, comment, you know, all the fun jazz. I'm really going to try to start working on, hopefully doing at least one video per week so that I can build up and become, hopefully, more of the goal that I have of being a YouTuber. Anyways, okay, I will see you guys on my next video. Okay, goodbye.